get started. Okay, so now we've started recording. Let's get into, you should be able to see my slides. So let's get into it. Welcome everyone. The agenda for today is in 3 different sections. First, obviously the introductions, getting to know the team, getting to know SAS and why this session. The second section is the demo itself and conversation around data visualization. And then we'll open it up for Q&A. So let's get into it. Introductions. Lucy, I'll get you to introduce yourself first and then we can, and then I will.
Great. Well, you would have heard my voice earlier, but introducing the voice behind the face in this sense. My name is Lucy. I am the SAS Academic Program Manager, and I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the what that role means. But I firstly wanted to also just acknowledge that we really enjoyed partnering with Explore Careers in this, who has helped facilitate this webinar, showcasing the career pathways to analytics and using SAS. So we're really excited to partner with Explore Careers, and wanted to extend a big thanks over to Harriet and the team to help coordinate. So thanks so much. But before I go into my role, I just wanted to give you a bit of a context of what how my role fits. But we here at SAS are a global company, and we have headquarters in North Carolina. And in Australia, we have several states within the SAS offices, but the main headquarters are here in Sydney. Not that we've been able to get there, but over in the Lane Cove office. But here at SAS, we've been around since 1975. So we've been doing analytics from the very beginning. So really, it's our bread and butter. Our CEO, Dr. Jim Goodnight, founded the company when he was actually a professor in North Carolina State University. And the reason why I bring this up and it really facilitates my role is that it's because analytics is always been a core value of SAS. And because of that, Dr. Jim Goodnight created something called the Academic Outreach program, and it's a program that I'm part of, and there's about 40 people with my role around the world who's responsible for making sure that people understand the power of SAS and the value that we have in analytics. So I just wanted to give you a context that I'm really happy to partner with AFROS and with Explore Careers to showcase and demo this tool with you. So thanks very much, Afros. I'll pass on to you.
Thank you, Lucy. Welcome everyone once again who have just joined us. I am Afros Hoodley, and in terms, sorry, I will just hit admit on that one. Okay. So in terms of my role, I'm focused on artificial intelligence and emerging technologies, and I'm part of customer advisory team within the organization. In terms of my background, I have 15 years industry experience, predominantly solving business problems, leveraging technology, and that's my passion, to leverage technology as an enabler to solve business problems. And as part of giving back to the community, SAS and all other corporate organizations, as you would be aware, proactively interact with the community. And at SAS, we have something called as Data for Good. And under that initiative, we do create assets that help the community. So DataFly is one such asset that we are bringing to the community, specifically to schools and teachers. That's the focus. How does it fit in within what we are driving here out of Australia and New Zealand? Within Australia and New Zealand SAS, we have something called as Women's Initiative Network. And as part of that, we're focused on STEMs, and that's my passion because STEMs My background is in STEM. So I've done a bachelor's in electronics engineering. I've done a master's in artificial intelligence with research. And then I've worked in the corporate space, and I've started my own companies. I have 5 different companies that I've started in the 15 years. So given my background, right, I know for a fact, especially when I was doing the master's, I was the only female student in a class of 200 students in Australia, La Trobe University, who was doing her master's with research in artificial intelligence. So I know how, in terms of the motivation required to get into STEMs, that's one, doesn't matter with gender. And then when it comes to females, that motivation is further lacking. So that's the driver behind the Women's Initiative STEMs. And that's where this entire piece comes together. DataFly, which is a tool to help visualize data, but coming to teachers to help engage students, okay? So, sorry, give me a sec. In terms of SAS, what and who is SAS? So this slide is a snapshot of all that SAS brings and has been bringing to the corporate world over the last 45 years. So in terms of Fortune 500s, top 91 of the top 100 companies in leverage SAS. It's in terms of R&D, 27% of annual revenue is reinvested year on year into R&D at SAS. We are one of the best workplaces in terms of students aspiring, especially when Lucy goes out and interacts with universities. We do bring in university grads, and that training program assists them to start their journey in the corporate world. It's one of the largest privately held software companies, and we are working towards our IPO. So think about it, 45 years of privately held company, which has served the Fortune 500s and has led and held the baton in the advanced analytics space over that entire period. It's exciting. It has a lot of knowledge, wealth of knowledge when it comes to data, advanced analytics, AI, emerging technologies, and the legacy of having solved business problems across all sectors over the years. So that's SAS in a nutshell. In terms of the Women's Initiative Network that I briefly touched on, our vision is to empower and inspire you. And when we say you, we're talking about students and teachers towards STEMs. And in terms of our mission, it's about engaging teachers and students. Why teachers? Because after parents, teachers are role models for most students. I know for me, my teachers played a big role in helping me, focus on math and physics and help me understand that I have what it takes to be in that space, to play in that space. And also because they made it engaging and interactive, I got hooked onto it really early on. And generally, if we can help our students when it comes to grade 5, maybe grade 6, around there, where we can help them engage with math, physics, being able to visualize the concepts in that space, right? And when I say math and physics, because I like math and physics, biology, chemistry, social sciences, everything is equally important, right? But my favorites are math and physics. I understand it, I can visualize it, I connect better with it. That's why I use it, that's all. So let's get into the next section now. What is data? So today, everything that we're doing in the business world is related to data, and who owns data has control and can roll out solutions, business solutions, really fast. So when you're trying to look at that picture captures a lot of information. Things around, is it a top attraction? Is it around sailing, scuba diving? How many visitors per line has that information embedded in it, and we're trying to collate that information ongoing. So that's what data is. Now, what is data visualization? When we can collect that information that data brings and represent it as a picture. It could be something as a plot, a simple scatter plot, bar chart, pie chart, where you can visualize and connect with that data. That's when it becomes engaging. Trigonometry, geometry, for instance, becomes so much more easier because you can integrate with it in the visual space. Similarly, if you can look at data that is collected for your math problems, for instance, in algebra, when you can start visualizing it, it becomes much more easier for students to grasp. So from that standpoint, and that then extends itself in the business world as well. When you're making decisions, it's much easier to look at a graph and take decisions, looking at it, drawing information from it, and making decisions, rather than looking at a report which is 45 pages long. So data visualization is very, very important. So from that standpoint, things like charts, graphs, maps are all tools for data visualization. And you're looking to understand the trends, you're looking to understand outliers, and you're looking to understand the pattern in the data. Those three things are really important. Outliers are data points that don't fit in the normal distribution. Generally, data is distributed normally, and the outliers are exceptions, basically. That's what an outlier is. Why do we need data visualization, or how does it help us? It helps us relate in terms of how the values relate to one another within the data. It represents the values accurately. It makes it easy to compare the values as well. Ranking and order of values can be done. And it makes it very easy for information to be extracted rather than having to read reports, which can be pages and pages long. And finally, as a student, when you can visualize the concept from whether it's social science, whether it's science, whether it's math, when you can visualize it, you learn the concept much faster, that's one, and you retain those concepts for life, right? So from that standpoint, this is a tool that we have created, which helps you create different polls. And through those polls, students can interact and understand how data is collected, how data can be interpreted, okay? And then y'all are domain experts when it comes to teaching. Y'all can then leverage it in creative ways. So let's get into the demo. Let me stop sharing this. And I'm going to share my browser. Give me a sec. Can you see my screen?
Yes, all good.
Cool, lovely. Thank you for confirming. Okay, so that's the home page, the landing page. Okay. Now, as you can see here, it says enter lobby code. That's the code that you will give to the students to join the poll and participate and engage with it. And here, create lobby is where we will go. When you hit on create lobby, this is the first screen that you see. Step one is you're creating a template. So let's assume we want to create a poll for what's your favorite season. Let's create a bar because we have 4 seasons we want to capture. We will have, let's go with drop down. So the question type, question, what is your favorite season? So the first possibility is winter, summer, spring, and autumn. And the data that is coming in is the label, right? So we're collecting data on season. So that's the label. You can add other questions if you wanted to have more questions there. And it then tells you what will it look like? What will your graph look like, right? Seasons or favorite seasons, FAB. Seasons, okay? Here again, you can change from bar if you want to go plot. You want to go a pie, you can go there. You can do a dot plot. But let's stick with bar for now. And then we go into launch template. That's the next step. Now here, we can create a custom lobby code, which will make it easy for us to remember. Or if you leave it blank, the system will generate one for us, okay? Now, let's call it my baby season. Okay, now because you want students to interact, you can ask for the nicknames as they're providing their input to the poll. The emojis are an excellent way again to interact with students, but it's only available with dot plot or scatter plot, and multiple entries from the same device, because in school setup, sometimes you don't have one-to-one, so one student to one device. Students share a device. So if that's happening at your school, you can enable this and you can launch the lobby, okay? But for now, I'm going to leave it as disabled. I'm going to copy that because we need that. And I'm going to say launch lobby. Now, so this is my view that I'm looking at. What I need us to do now is, wait, give me a sec. Just move that here. I need requests. No, not this one. This one. To copy. On your systems, I want you to go to this link, and the code I want you to enter is that. So when you click on that link, you would be seeing this, and in here, the code you will enter would be my FAV season, and you hit join. You will actually be able to see. I can't show you because I'm already in the in this mode. Fantastic! Someone has actually taken the poll. If I could encourage others who are on the call too, and then we can, perfect, fantastic. So 3 people have, which is awesome. And this is on the fly in real time, right? So, and then in here, once all the data has come in, as a teacher, you can download the graph, you can download the data as well. And then you can work with that data offline with your students as well. The idea is for students, one, to be able to understand how to collect data in real time, that's one. And two, for them to then be able to, they can actually leverage this tool for projects, if that's something that you do as part of your extracurriculars. You could integrate it and give them the ability to actually use this and set up these polls as well. Okay, so it could be either as the teacher, you could leverage the tool, create the poll, and then get students engaged through the poll. And the other mechanism could be students themselves set up their poll as part of a project that they're doing to collate information and then do something with the data that they collect. Okay, so it could be either of those. So this is how this entire tool is set up. In real time, you can collect the data, you can analyze that data and have meaningful conversations based on the data that you've collected. Do we have any questions at this point? No questions? Okay. The other thing we can do is we can have pre-designed lobbies. Like if you're seeing the screen now,
Hi, Afroz, there was one question. How many types of graphs are available? Thank you, Johnny, for your question.
Okay. So I will tell you. Give me a sec. So we have bar, we have dot plot, we have pie, we have box and whiskers, we have histogram, and we have scatter plot. So 6 of those. Yeah. Okay, now on the screen, you're seeing something called as data literacy in the classroom, and then it says lobby settings. So what I'm wanting to show you here is pre-populated templates. So you can actually create your templates, save your template, and then use it in real time when you're talking, you know, when you have that session with the students. Instead of creating those templates on the fly, I could have created my template, my FAV seasons, and saved it, and then we could have used it for the purpose of this conversation. But I didn't do it because I wanted to show you how easy it is to create that template. Okay, so that's—
Sorry, Afroz, just one other question. Doesn't seem the histograph and the scatter doesn't seem to be accessible. Is that because it's a different view? It's just another question from Johnny.
So what view are you in currently? If you go into— if you go in there and if you hit create lobby, in there you'll be able to see all the graphs.
Oh, hi, I didn't realize I can just speak. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
So I went to that front page, that home page, landing page, and I clicked on create lobby. And when I scroll up, and it says in the histogram and scatter plot, when I hover the mouse over, it doesn't actually let me click on it. It actually has a symbol that says you cannot click on it. So on the histogram and scatter plot on top.
Yeah. So depending on what question type you've selected, can you see if I select multiple choice, I get those. If I get down, it's that. If I go check box, I only get bar and dot plot.
Okay, so it depends on the type of question.
Yes, is correct. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for the clarification.
Also, once you've, let's say you don't select this and you key in your question and you insert your options, see how this is automatically grayed out, these two options. I can only have one of these. So it's very intelligent in that sense. So it helps you as well.
Gotcha. All right, thanks for that.
No worries. Cool. Are there other questions? So as I was saying—
oh, sorry, I was just going to say for those guests, I have unmuted your line. So if you would like to ask a question or use the Q&A, please do so. Go ahead, Afroz.
Yeah. So as I was saying, you can, save your template and then you can launch it. So let's say I chose favorite drink and said launch the lobby. So now the code has changed. The code will be, if you go back to the home page and use this code, chats. If you use that code, you'll be participating in this poll, and you can choose water, soda, juice, coffee, tea, sports drink. And so this is a dot plot, and 2 of our participants have participated. So we have 1 each. The 3rd one coming up. Fantastic. So we have people who love soda, more coffee lovers, caffeine takers. If I did the poll, see how I can't do the poll, by the way, not on this device. So I'll have to log in through another computer. And if I wanted to participate in this poll, because I'm the presenter and I have launched the lobby, so it does not allow me to participate in the poll. But if I did take this, I would be water. Okay. Were there any other questions here?
None in the Q&A.
Okay, cool. I'm then going to stop sharing these and we'll go back to the presentation. Okay. Okay. In terms of next steps, right? Please feel free to email us at our email address, that's anzwin@sas.com. And we will be sending out a recording of the session as well. So you can then go back to the recording, see how to create a lobby and play around with it. And if you had any specific questions, you could come back to us. What we can also do is do a 45-minute session with your students, and we can have activities and engage students with the tool. If that's something that you would want us to do, we are more than happy to organize that. You'll have to, again, email us, and then we'll work out a suitable time, and we can make that happen for you. In terms of the tool itself, the idea has always been that, as teachers, you feel empowered to leverage the tool and help students understand data visualization, because it's one of the core foundation principles when it comes to anything related to data that's happening in the business world currently, whether it's advanced analytics, whether it's machine learning, whether it's artificial intelligence. It's that building block, your ability to visualize data and make inferences from that data is really important. And the earlier we can introduce that to our students, the easier it becomes for them. And they then walk away realizing that STEMS is not just about coding, it's also about being able to make these inferences and create systems that make such decisions in real time, right? So it's about engaging them and helping them, that fear for math, the fear for physics, that fear factor that students have. We want to break that down. We want them to be able to feel comfortable and be able to engage with math and physics and social sciences, biology, chemistry, all of that, right, in a fun, lively manner, engaging manner. And that's where this tool comes handy. That's what we are hoping, and we're hoping you will be able to integrate it, if not as part of the curriculum, perhaps as part of your extracurriculars, and leverage the tool, basically.
Perfect. So again, I have unmuted everybody's line. I think at this stage, we're open for any questions. Feel free to unmute your line, take your video off, whatever you feel comfortable. Afroz is a wealth of knowledge and has a depth of real experience that I'm so pleased that she could join the call today. So feel free. This part is really open for any questions.
Just out of curiosity, I had a question. Can each of, if I could request each of you all through the chat, right? Tell us where you're coming from. Are you all coming from Sydney? Are you coming from Melbourne, Canberra? Which part of the country are we all coming from? I'm based out of Sydney. I can go first.
Yeah, we did see quite a few other schools which led towards maybe from Melbourne. So that's always a good balance. You know, certainly available for everybody. Might be a bit shy.
I have another question.
Yes.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so you mentioned that there in this program, there are 6 different types of graphs, as we saw there. Will there be, you know, more graphs being added to the program? Because there are in the New South Wales syllabus, these are the basic graphs that they have to learn: dot plots, histogram, like histogram and scatter plots will be into senior course.
Yeah.
But in the senior course, there's also a new kind of graph that a lot of teachers got thrown with. Is called the Pareto charts. And a lot of us tends to just create all of these diagrams using Excel. And I appreciate this program because it gives you a lot of interactivity in there. And I'm just wondering that in the future, like, will there be some other types of graphs that can be implemented into this program?
Absolutely, we can look at taking this back to our R&D team, and we can get that added in. If that helps, absolutely, we'd love to help you. And I've made a note of it. I'll take it back, as feedback.
Cool, thanks for that.
And that's a really good point there. Being a privately owned company, although we're going to IPO, we can put all our money back into R&D, and so it's all in-house. And so when Afroz mentions that we can go back to the R&D team, it is a straight connection. We can do that. So rest assured that if it's not there at the moment, it will be something that we can make a request for.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point, and really a grounding for people who want to see that the software gets evolved over and over again. SAS has a really great foundation of being able to do that.
And if there are other things that come to mind when you're using the tool as well, please do let us know. We are more than happy to take it back to our R&D team. And we can't promise it, but we will make certain that it gets to the R&D team, and then it goes into queue and it gets added in different versions, right? So absolutely, please feel free, because the idea is to help you as the teacher interact and engage with students. So you're closer to the curriculum, you know what is really required to help you with driving those activities. So please feel free, and we can try to make it happen.
Also, I have another thing to ask. Sorry, I'm asking a lot. With this program, when we are at the moment, probably later today or in the weekend, I'll probably have a go at some other types of graph and have a little bit of experiment on that.
Yeah.
When we try out those things, like obviously it seems like we have to keep track of the lobby code that we create.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Is there a way that, like, once you finish designing it, is there a way that we can come back to it and make some edits or even delete it if we think it's not good enough?
Yeah. So let me show you. So this is one of the earlier ones, right? In terms of, but then what I can do I've actually saved it as a template, right? So that's how I've accessed it. And that is exactly what you can do. And then you can delete your template as well. You can manage your templates. It's possible.
Okay. Because when I teach different year groups, like different stages in the syllabus, we have different requirements of different types of graphs that I have to learn. And because if I experiment all these things myself, I'm gonna have a long list before I actually get to the final template. And I'm like, I just wondering, if I can make edits or anything. But that pretty much answered the question. So thanks for that.
Yeah. Do we have any other questions? Anyone?
No, good. Well, I'll allow maybe just another 30 seconds or so for any other questions, or else we can probably wrap it up. As Afros sort of mentioned, the video recording will be shared with you. It will probably be on Monday, but you have put the URL in the chat, right, Afros, and they can go into that and have a go.
Yeah.
So so feel free to use that, but the recording will follow suit in the coming days after the weekend. Excellent. Yeah, look, I think that as we conclude the semester or the term, so to speak, in secondary school, it's definitely a way to consider what you could do for the next year. So engage us, let us know. Afros can certainly sit with you and work through a lesson with you. Our email address, anzwin@sas.com. Great. Afros, any other last parting questions or comments?
No, thank you everyone for taking the time Friday afternoon. The weather's been crazy as well. We were just like prior to the start of the session, Lucy and myself, we were like, the weather's so bad. Is anybody going to turn up? There are almost close to 25, 30 people who have registered, but are we going to have anyone show up? So it's awesome that you all did take the time. Thank you so very much.
Indeed.
And hopefully the tool absolutely helps you engage with students. And do let us know if there are other things that we can add to the tool. We'd love to support that. Thank you so very much.
Great. So you can stop recording now. And thank you, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your evening. And